there is someone I interviewed. She said that it would take years, it would take decades before Koreans will start accepting people that are even born here as Koreans. So what do you have to say about that? Or have you experienced some?
For example, like my husband, even like I said, my son, for me, it's like fully Korean. I cannot even see him like acting as a Mexican. Like, for example, if my son goes now to Mexico, like he's not like Mexican. Like people will say, no, he's not Mexican. But like my husband sees my son as a foreigner.
As a foreigner?
Even my son, even my husband.
Ah.
Yeah, like my husband says, like he looks like you, and he's afraid. Like even his family is afraid. Like this is so like this, wow, because even his family says like they are so afraid. They said like, oh my God, because in the news I have seen some news that some like Taiwanese or some Vietnamese had some like violence, but not often, but like bullying or something in the news like 2 or 3 times, even like by the teachers or by other students. So this was like a boom for the multicultural families, and even my mother-in-law saw it in the news. And like sometime I heard that they said like, oh my God, you like my son has like a double eyelid and looks like a high nose, like things that looks like so foreign kid, and big, and then actually my mother-in-law says like, oh my God, I'm worried that he suffered kind of like discrimination, or some people exclude him or something. So they said like, what can we do? We need to save money because we need to send him to international school and it's so expensive. So like really people don't accept these mixed kids yet as a Koreans. Even my family, like I said, they are worrying. They are like worrying about the future for him and want to send him to international school when he doesn't even speak English. My son doesn't even speak English.
Oh.
Yeah, my son doesn't like to speak Spanish or English. He just speaks Korean, and he's just like that. So imagine they are worried, and my husband is like, oh my God, he looks so foreigner, and I'm so worried. And then actually my husband even like sometimes even thinks like, should we move to Mexico? Because how will he study the like elementary school here, because he looks so foreigner? And the mother-in-law says like, oh, we need to send him to international school. And I'm like, why are you thinking about this? Send him to the school that is like 2 blocks away from my house. Yeah, and like everybody like think, even the daycare like think and see him as a foreigner, even that he's Korean. And every time, like time ago when I used to like to make interviews with the teachers to see which daycare or which kindergarten fits me well and I trust and I really want to send my son into that school, they said like, oh, but what like they said like, oh, but the foreigner fare is like fair, you know, like price. They say like a foreigner fare is different because they gave me one paper.
The foreigner fee. The foreigner fee is different. Yeah.
Yeah, like the national fee is free because the government covers kindergarten and daycare. I don't know the others, but at least kindergarten daycare is covered, fully covered. But then they gave me the paper that it says it's fully covered, but extra activities you need to pay. So they gave me this paper. But then when they saw my son, because he was like sleeping in the stroller and he was like covered, and then he suddenly woke up, and the teacher saw him. They said, oh, we gave you the wrong paper. Then we need to give you like the foreigner fee. And I was like, no, he's Korean. Actually, I haven't signed him up with my embassy yet.
Yes.
So I said like, because I don't know, because actually I have heard that Korea doesn't like recognize dual citizenship. This is what I have heard. And I asked my embassy like, is it bad if I sign up? And they said that I can sign him up, but at least male, like the men that have dual citizenship, they can keep this dual citizenship till men can keep it till they are 18 or 19. But then if they keep the foreigner citizenship, then they need to say no to the Korean and they must have a visa to stay here. Yeah, and if they keep the Korean one, they must go military, but they need to say bye to the foreigner one. This is what they have told me. They said, like, you can sign him up with the embassy, but at the end, if he wants to keep living here, he needs to say bye. And I don't want any trouble, any problem, and I don't want to complicate my life, and I haven't even signed him with my embassy. And like in a lot of places, it's like, but he's foreigner, like.
What advice do you have for international couples, and what do you think can be done to integrate more of foreigners into this system to allow more acceptance?
I think it will change because I have heard like that the birth rate is like getting like lower, and actually I have seen a lot of girls that have been my classmates or friends of my friends that are getting like married and having kids. So I think it will change with the time, because now the foreigners, actually the foreign couples, international couples, are making this Korean population, like, are raising the population. This is what I think. So I think it will change by itself alone.
Yeah.
It's like we don't have to say anything, we don't have to do anything. I think it will change because, like I say, my friend, I have one friend that even has 3 kids. Like I have a friend that's from Algeria and she has 3 kids. I have one friend from Morocco and she has 2 kids. I have one friend like they having a lot of kids. And like, Koreans, maybe when they are like the baby late 30s, early 40s, they have 1 kid. But I have friends that are like 20s, 30s, and they are having kids. And like, I think with this problem, I think we don't have to say anything. We are raising up the population, and like Koreans will see. And at school, with the time, people will see it. People will see it.
People will see that
they are like more multicultural.
It's gonna change.
Yeah, and actually also like not even mixed kids, also like full foreign kids, because actually I always check in the websites from government, and it's true that some schools are empty, because not empty, but like there are some seats remaining because there are not enough students. And I have seen some support, like I said, like some, like at least for kindergarten and daycare education is free for Korean nationals, even like multicultural or mixed kids. But since there are some seats like available, and teachers that probably are there and are getting paid with only 1 kid, so we need people, right? We need more kids there at that classroom. So there are like government. It's also in some cities they are giving offers like, oh, we'll give you some money, not like money in cash, but they will like discount from the tuition fee or something. And like, people or Korean society will see like, oh, like not only in international schools in Itaewon or in any other international school, the classmates in the public schools, they will see like, oh, mixed kids or fully foreigner kids, they will see, and we don't have to say anything, just they will see, because really Koreans are having more kids than before. But foreigners, I feel, I'm sure that we are having more kids than
yes.